And welcome to the Smoke Break. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Taylor Barrett.
Howdy.
Zoe Schwartz.
Hi.
And our guest host and comedian, Eren Senel. Hi. So before we get into this, I wanted to do a quick disclaimer, and that is to say that this show is for entertainment purposes only. We work in the field of mental health, but do not claim to be professionals in this space. Our intention is to have conversations around lived experience, and as a result, we may not always agree with what our guests say, but we do intend to hold space for open conversations and learning from one another. Eren, thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be in here. It's a lovely space.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So we're going to talk about two topics this week, one of them moving and the other one time management, if there's time.
If we manage it well.
Yeah, we'll see. But starting off with moving, tell me what made you think about this topic?
Oh, I recently moved to a new place and everything. It just it reminded me of, how I moved from a different country coming in here and how I changed locations throughout my high school and college years. Like, it has a profound impact on me. So it's nice to talk about how it affects your mental health, preparation, and going all about, the journey in general.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think moving is, or even just like times of like transitioning to one part of your life to another, I think is an opportunity to like reflect. Mm-hmm. It's a good time. I remember once when I moved to China, I was while I was living over there, I'd taken a trip to Mongolia, and somebody was just like, when you're on the plane, that's the time that you reflect. When you're going into this new part of your life, like that's a good time to look back at everywhere that you've been.
Yeah, it's just puts you into, moving in general, putting things into a boxes. It's just creating a boundary and just forcing you to, face them in actual way, like these memories and the things that we put into the things is just gives you the chance to reflect, let go, or something to hold on and remember why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like moving can be really emotional for that reason because you end up going through things. And it's like emotional too because you're like, why do I have so much crap? and because you're like going through things that you haven't looked at before or you've looked at in a long time. Yeah, I definitely every time I move, I'm like just get lost in stuff, and then I'm like, I'm not doing anything productive. I'm just like, ooh, look at this.
I feel like I always I don't know. I have like this. I've in the past have had this sad thought where I'm like, I don't have that much stuff to take, which is also like a really cool thought when you have to pack it all up and fucking move it. But it's also like can be a really sad thought if that's been like the case most of the times that you've moved.
If that's the result of you having to had moved so many times, it can be a gut punch, especially like when I was younger and I was like, I don't want to live at home anymore. I'm like getting apart with my friends, and I was moving around a lot, and I never had a lot of stuff because of that. And, randomly stuff would pop in my head, like, where's that one shirt? It probably just lost to the ether. Where's this one video game that I wanted? It's probably just lost to the ether. Just like in the chaos of moving, like you lose little pieces of yourself, and that kind of like it stings. But there's also like the alternative where like if you have a bunch of stuff like you mentioned, then you just kind of end up going through a time capsule of your like experience in this one place.
Oh yeah, sometimes it just leads up to hoarding, hey, everybody says get rid of, but it reminds me of some memory that I have just hold dear, I cannot get rid of that.
Yeah, August 27th, 2017, this was really important to me, so
I really love this rock.
Yeah. You don't understand.
What do you think, like, because you are someone who's moved a lot, like, how do you feel like it's impacted you the most? Like, what's most significant for you?
It's like, it's the reflection of what you're leaving behind is important, the moving to a different country and letting go, like putting your parents, friends, and all of the relationships back. Like, technology allows you to, to get be close, like have that relationship intact, but it's also moving means that you're not going to see them physically, and without the physical contact and physical interactions, we tend to forget that those people existed. But even though you have that memory with them and you don't want to to lose them, but it makes it so much harder to maintain those relationships.
Yeah. Sometimes staying in the same place is a lot harder than it is to like leave it behind and face whatever newness, you might experience.
Do you feel like having that like physical distance makes you want to like try harder to maintain those relationships?
Yeah, it's just when I remember first time I moved, like I had a bunch of college friends that we said that, oh, every month we are gonna meet up. We did that little bit of Zoom and little bit of, the over the online, but everybody then started moving into different directions as well. Some of them went to Europe, some of them stayed back there, and it just becomes such a time management problem as well too. Just figuring things out, how they're gonna relate. But after a while you decide these memories that you have cherished with the person is just is not gonna be the same how they remember it. But it's also like, if you don't try hard enough, does not mean that you don't care about them. It's just you're in the different parts of the life and different locations, actually.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say that I had noticed that that it was easier to reach out after I had moved, just because I like had placed more significance on, like, when I went to China, I was like, oh, all the people who I never really talked to, like, they're so far away, like on the other side of the world, that like now I'm realizing how much I took for granted those relationships. So like it didn't make it easier to reach out, but it made it more like mean more when I did reach out, or the significance of the times that we connected.
Oh, yeah. Like when you call back those friends, like, oh, it used to be 10 minutes of conversation pieces. Now it's just 1 hour. And you're just catching it up. You're just trying to hold space.
You have more to say.
Yeah. And it just becomes such a time commitment, because you wanted to show that you care about them. You just wanted to sit down and spend.
Yeah. What about you, Taylor? Like you've moved a little bit
here and there. A lot of it has been just like around one city. You know what I mean? Like,
there can still be a lot of change.
It for sure can. But there's there was a point in my life where I did move to Seattle for like 3 years, and that's why I asked you, like, is it easier for you to like, or like does that much distance make you want to try harder to maintain that? Because when as I was moving around Vancouver, I ended up like drifting away from a lot of like my family, just because I was so caught up in my own stuff that like I didn't feel the need to like maintain those connections. And after I got a little bit older, like I was like, oh wow, like this feels so distant, even though we're like so physically close, like 2 miles away from each other is not that far, but like I haven't seen you in months, and that's really, really weird. But like now that I have my own kids, and I'm trying to like get my kids to be more integrated with my family more than I was, there's more reasons for me to like maintain those connections. So moving, like I have a weird relationship with moving, because it's been a lot of like central, like just like around Vancouver mostly, but there's also like this weird bittersweet chunk of it where I was like, wow, like we're so distant. We need to maintain this relationship and like catch back up. And then I do that, and I'm like, oh, this is why we didn't talk. I'm brutally reminded why I had that distance to begin with. And then, it's like finding a balance between those things where I'm like, I love you, you're my family, but I need to know how close I can be to you.
Yeah, the moving has that, the like sometimes when you're in a toxic situation, or that causes a lot of pain to you, moving is a way out for you. Moving way is just establishing your own truth and own boundaries for your space, and how you wanted to interact with people as well.
Absolutely.
I feel like also like moving, it kind of forces you to like grow in ways that when you stay in the same, I mean, not that you can't grow when you stay in the same place, but I do feel like being out of your comfort zone is like, kind of a valuable thing to experience a couple times in your life, especially like physically, like out, where you like, or like, like traveling alone. I've thought about that a lot. Like I really want to do that. I've never done it, but I feel like it would be so good for you.
It feels fucking weird, because like I've mostly traveled with people like recently, but when I was in China, there were so many times where I just like hopped on a plane and was just like, okay, I don't know anybody, and I'm like, all I have is the little bit of this language that I've learned, and now I got to go fucking survive.
Yeah, and like especially in a new culture and a new place that you have never been in, within the state, moving between the states, you need to relearn the things that you have learned. Like, oh, simple as where I'm gonna pick up my groceries, you have to figure it out. What is the best place to get that, what like how long it's gonna take. It's just adds an additional mental hurdle until you overcome that.
Well, I think it just kind of points out like how different every place is, that like there is almost like a culture that like you kind of have to like move through, like when you're traveling, you know.
I mean, even if it's like a small bubble, like in my little relocations, there's been times where like I was centralized around a bunch of stuff that I was like participating in constantly, like this game shop, and then this Minute Mart, and then this is my favorite food place. It was all right here, and I built like a really good relationship with the people there, and it kind of became its own little subculture of the area I was living in. And then I moved, a half a mile away, and everything is different. I don't know these people anymore. I have to find new places that I want to eat that are like in walking distance. Maybe half a mile is too short of a thing, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and it just changes the vibe completely. And it's with it being a whole new set of people. You have to like reestablish yourself. Like it takes so little distance for you to experience culture shock. And I think that gets overlooked a lot too. Where it's like moving countries is ridiculous levels of culture shock, but like within your same city, a couple miles can give you culture shock.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like within, like you said that having in a bar and meeting with people in general when you new place, you miss those relationships, but also you don't want to go back to the travel for a 2 mile to to just get a beer and just return back. It's just adds an additional hassle, adds an additional the baggage to that. And finding new friends is just, oh, this reminds me of my friend Taylor, and it's just like, how is that? Oh, do I still want to bring a new friend like Taylor? Is it good enough or no?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think being able to like going out and experiencing different things allows you to like cultivate your new space better. Because it's like
what you like and dislike.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you go to a new place, the things that you bring with you, the things that you will allow into your new house, like you live in a house and fucking you move to a new place and it's like no shoes inside. You know what I mean? And that came from the experience of, fucking insert whatever. But like I think that there's so many experiences that come from just meeting different people, gaining different cultures and trying to like implement that into you and your space and your culture.
I think that's a really good point, that like all the moving like builds on it, or at least it should. There's been plenty of times where like I learned nothing and didn't implement anything new, but the point is usually to like take that experience and implement it into wherever you go next. This is level 2, and so all the stuff that you learned from level 1, you can now apply it and be more effective than you were there. You can fill the gaps or readjust or whatever, and then the next time you move, you might have to just scrap that and readjust again. But the whole point is like to learn from that experience and to cultivate, like you said, the new experience that you're having in the new place, wherever that is.
Yeah, and the new experience sometimes is just like very pushing you into certain directions that you're not comfortable with. Like, for example, shoes off. I bet that in China it's like, oh, we wear our shoes every time in the United States, but in China, like, okay, now this needs to be a house rule, even though I don't fully get it or something like that. It's just, okay, I need to do this because it's a societal and cultural shift that is happening.
I was thinking about how like moving, like it helps you be more flexible, because I was thinking, or even just like more open-minded, because I was thinking about like I've lived in Portland for quite a while, and I was thinking about like there's so many things I like don't do or like go see, and then I was thinking about like someone new who moved here, and they're probably like, ooh, I want to go check out. Like I often will be like, I've never been there, and I'm like, so I think like having new eyes on something can be, like having that like that novelty experience of like perceiving something as a new place, because I feel like I could definitely am in like my comfort zone a little bit. Well, you know what I mean? Like you get like in ruts, like, and then I think about like, well, I never go to that part of Portland, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like,
you talk about like the Crystal Ballroom or something, and someone that's not from Portland is like, oh my God, that's such a cool, and you're like, what are you talking about? It's like, it's down the fucking street. The bartender there's a dick. Like, I don't know if the bartender there's a dick or not, but like that, just that experience of like, it's so homegrown for you. Yeah. It's bizarre to see it as like this big thing for somebody else, because it's next door. It's not this big extravagant thing anymore.
No, I'm glad that you brought that up, because that makes me think of the thing that I just forgot, but it's actually not super important, because it's we're at the 30-second mark. Do you want to say your thought and then wrap it up?
I was just thinking that like moving kind of helps you not take things for granted, so I think it keeps you like on your toes in that way.
Yeah, thank you. That was actually no, that was what I was going to say. Is and I will say this
Nice.
right before we wrap it up. Is moving helps you not take things for granted. I lived in China for 3 years, and the entire time I lived there was places that I just didn't go because I thought someday I'll go there, someday I'll go there, someday I'll go there, and then my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer, and my grandfather was in a car accident, so I suddenly had to move back, and it wasn't until probably that last week that like I actually looked at like the streets where I had been like walking to work every day, because I was like, I may not see this again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I said that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back with the smoke break. And welcome back to the smoke break. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Taylor Barrett,
I don't usually sit here.
Zoe Schwartz,
Me neither.
and Eren Senel.
I usually sit here.
Your name is carved into the chair.
Yep, they are correct. So the thing that I want to talk about was ADHD and time management, which I feel like we naturally hit, just naturally, because ADHD is something that I've struggled with for a really long time, bouncing around topics, stuff like that. Time management, though, that one's a different one. I feel like for me, because I'm always thinking of things, I'm always like, okay, I need to make sure that like I'm doing this, and bouncing around. But I think that it's also easy to like get distracted, and like because you're bouncing around so many things, like you're not managing your time in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
So what's been anyone's experience with that?
I'm so bad at time management. I feel like when I do something, I'm like running in fifth gear I'm like flying through it, and it's hard to like hit the brake without just like skidding past the line that I'm supposed to stop at. You know what I mean? And it caused a lot of problems in my life. I'm very bad at time management. Last medication that I had helped me out a little bit with that, but I'm seeking some new medication. Hopefully that does a little more than the last one. But yeah, time management and ADHD are mortal enemies, and it's
Mortal enemies.
It's rough.
Mm-hmm.
It is like with the ADHD, like if there's an optimal path for neurotypical persons and people in general, it's like ADHD always swings in the spectrum. You know, either you're less focused or you're hyper focused,
Yeah.
and that takes a lot of physical energy and mental toll on the people too.
I feel like that gets overlooked too. Is that like how physically and mentally draining it can be to be on that like swinging scale of hyper focused and not very focused, because it's like ADHD people are so much more tired and distracted sometimes because of that, and that in itself can fuck with the time management.
Yes,
I think it's also harder to switch tasks. Like you get like that with the hyper focus. Like you'll get just like a quick switch doesn't feel like doable. That you have to like the transition has to be. So anyway, I think that contributes to the time management, because you're like,
especially I'm a hyper focused person. Like with the hyper focus, you know, when the time management comes in there, oh, you need to eat, you need to do this, you need to, you know, do activities of daily living, cleaning up chores. But if I let go of this particular pocket and the little shiny thing that I am focusing on, I am not going to be enjoying myself. So let me finish this and sacrifice all of the food, all of the sleep, and all of the things that I wanted to do.
One thing that it helped me a little bit, but it can be very treacherous and difficult to navigate, and it can get into like eating disorder level stuff, is that like I would forget to eat, I forget to do like personal maintenance like very, very often, because I'm so bogged down by the stuff that I'm hyper focused on. So I would try to use like little benchmarks as like, okay, like once I do this, I get to eat. Once I do this, then I'm going to do this other thing that I said I was going to do. So it becomes a way to like bounce tasks. But like if I don't do that thing, or I keep pushing the goalpost, then I don't eat for a long time, and that's where it can get dangerous.
Yeah, it's like you need a little bit of reward, but not too much that you're overwhelmed or sitting down or doing something else. Like it's just it's every ADHD is unique in its own regard.
Yeah.
All the flavors of ADHD.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time like estimating how long. That's what I've heard, is that people with ADHD are really bad at estimating how long it's going to take us to do stuff. So that's like what I heard is like you should just always like double what your first initial like assumption is. You should double that, and that's hard for me. Like I'm always like, oh, I got like I got 5 minutes before I got to leave. I'm like, oh, I can do this, and then I'm like, no, I did all those things, and then I'm 10 minutes late, even though I like was ready when you know what I mean? But it's like that being like, oh, I have 10 minutes, and then I'll misuse the last 10 minutes. It becomes 20 minutes, and then I'm like, fuck, now I'm late, even though I could have.
So is it like it's like a belief that like extra time is there?
or just that like I'm quicker at doing things than I think I am. It's like I don't know how to guess how long something's going to take.
Time moves fucked up for ADHD people.
Mm-hmm.
The way it fluctuates and like it's moving really fast or it's moving really slow. It never really changes, but the way our brain is interpreting it is constantly like I have more time or I have less time. I've occasionally just like if I want to do 4 things, I'm just like I'm gonna have to choose to not do one of them. You know,
or to just ignore 4 things and pick up the 5th thing.
Yeah. And then I'm like, fuck, I forgot to do 4 things.
Yeah,
I think I don't know. I think for me, when time really like escapes me is when I'm hyper focused on stuff. And I almost like justify that like a time sink, where it's just like I've spent so much time on this that like at this point it's an investment.
The sunken cost fallacy.
Yeah, sunken cost fallacy. Absolutely. Yeah, where it's just like I've spent this much time on it. Like I need some reward from I don't know. I was trying to do like 50 million things this morning, like because I forgot today was a long day. So I was like trying to program this app while also fucking doing my hair. So I had like conditioner in my hair, and then I had my hands on it was just I was like, and then I was like, oh wait, today's that day. I don't have as much time as I thought I had.
You know what's funny? And I just thought about this. Like even when I first, like one of the first times I started tried to take like stimulant medication, I feel like I was more efficient, but I was still bad at estimating because I would try to do too many things. And I think like I do that with ADHD.
Like I'm twice as fast. That means I can do
yeah, no, literally like I was feeling really efficient. But then I was like, oh, there's so many things I've been putting off. My brain was like, we could pull that off. And so it was like normally I'm like, oh, I can't do it. Put it off. Or you just start even looking, you stop even looking at the thing that you've been avoiding forever. But once I started taking the medication, my brain was like, oh, there's all these things that we've been putting off. We should do them all. And then that got overwhelming. You know what I mean? So I was just thinking like, that's interesting. Like, even though it helps, it didn't take away the like unrealistic nature of like how many things I can do. No, just I was well, I guess I'm always overestimating, but you know what I mean? Like it was like I was quicker than I thought I was going to be, to the point where I was doing more things than was realistic.
You were able to do like an extra task. So your brain was like, what if we did 10 extra tasks?
And it still managed to make me late.
Yeah.
It's just like that itself becomes its own reward, right? Getting all more and more like I can't do it. This is gonna be feeling so good, and then everything you just abandon it at the end. But or you just cleaning until 3 a.m. in the morning, because you found, while you're cleaning, you found another thing.
Absolutely.
And like ADHD people are so dopamine starved that once you get that hit from like accomplishing that task, and now you're able to do more tasks, you're just like, well, let's just do fucking all of them. I want all of that dopamine right now.
Yeah, it comes at a spurt. Yeah, that's how I am too. It's like I'll feel very like inefficient for a while, and then all of a sudden I'll have like a very productive week, and then I'll have like very not productive couple weeks. Yeah, I go in spurts. And I think like that, we were talking about balance earlier. That's part of what balance is so hard, I think, for people with ADHD, because it's like we're all or nothing, Oh, one time I heard someone explain that like it's not that we have I don't know anything, but just interesting, like somebody described it as like we have like, I don't know, like too much gas in I can't remember the analogy, but it made sense. It was like it's not that we don't have focus, it's that we have too much going on or something. I don't know.
I heard the analogy that we have a monkey in our brains with the zills and the symbols, and it's just basically we are just like we just want to keep that monkey the energized and intact, but like the whatever that happens, they're just symbols, and just they're hitting that again, and we're just distracted.
And Zane has a song in their head that made me think of that.
God, yeah.
All the time.
One time Zane told me that was the song in their head, and I was like, that is hilarious.
Yep. Every once in a while, like 9 out of 10 times, it's that song, which I believe is called March of the Centurions, which was made to be a war song, which is hilarious.
It doesn't sound like a war song.
Yeah, imagine hearing your enemy play that, and you're like, these fucking goobers.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid
it's
of
like a circus song.
Yeah. But and then 1 out of 10 times, it's the Mario Bros. Theme song. Very rarely I hear that sneak through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Thank you so much. It's gonna get stuck in my head.
Yeah,
now.
my bad.
Those are 2 very catchy songs. But yeah, speaking of ADHD,
what were we talking about?
No, I'm just kidding. But the time management part, what helps you refocus? Like, what helps you grasp time in a way that like maybe other people? Because I feel like people who struggle with time management have like time blindness. Like I've been joking about it with Jasmine. I'm just like it's like a time disease where it's like people like it's
Benjamin
not
Button.
It's not not Benjamin Button, not that bad. But like it's not similar. It's in a way.
In a world.
In a world. But I guess it's just the idea that that time blindness, it's not that people who have time blindness are like trying to be late or like fuck you and your thing. It's just that they literally like just don't conceptualize time in the same way. So it's like, what helps you do that?
Yeah. I don't know, like the 2 clock like timer things I have on my fridge that I've never used.
Timers help.
I think
What do you remember using?
I don't know. I've heard people doing. It doesn't work for me necessarily, but I've heard people do things like for like using other things to measure time, like a song or I don't know, like that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think also for me, honestly,
I
this
have
is
one
like
album's worth of time before I need to go.
When I was younger, I used to measure time in episodes of The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I'm not kidding at all. I'd be like,
Mom's gonna be home in 20 of these.
Yeah, this is about a half of an episode of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
that's really
And then in my head, I would hit benchmarks of like, this is about where in the episode. Like, I'm not even kidding. I remember the specific one.
This isn't about autism, Taylor.
Oh, yeah. This is about The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
I don't feel like anything works. I don't know. Oh, I was gonna say, I honestly, this is like lame, but like I think for me, like if I'm gonna get in trouble, then I could be on time. Like if it's like something where like I'm gonna be embarrassed or in trouble, then
Increasing the severity.
yeah, then I can like if it's like school or work or like school because you have to walk in, everybody's already like so something like that. But if I know that there's no like real consequence, it's like my brain just doesn't care. And it sucks too because the consequence could be like inconveniencing someone else. And I do care, but it's like it just doesn't intimidate me in the same way.
Yeah.
Like it's not that I don't care, it's just that like that fear of being like called out or getting in trouble or like everyone knowing that you're late or whatever, that is just like more impactful than like knowing that I'm going to be late.
So you need a punishment that is just gonna affect you in an emotional capacity.
You just need to feel awkward.
Yeah.
Which is bad. Like it shouldn't be like that. But, like, I don't think that's
I
like,
relate
a
to
healthy
that.
suggestion for anybody else. But I've noticed like I can be on time when it's really, really important. But like we're
To
like
me.
we're like that's what I mean. It sounds fucked up. Not even like really, really important. Like we're like I could be like inconveniencing like someone like I don't know like and I know that's it feels like oh it's work so I'm inconveniencing them with my friends. I'm all whatever. I do care and I will I don't know but yeah it just feels different.
No.
It's just easier if you know you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, I can definitely I have this fear of people waiting on me. I don't know where it came from. I'm sure it's like this deep instilled thing, but like I just have this fear of like somebody waiting on me, like somebody being somewhere and standing there and being like they should be here by now. Like that freaks me. It stresses me out because I'm just like, oh my god, like what if they're uncomfortable? What if they don't know where they're supposed to be? What if they thought I
always communicate if I'm going to be late, but it's still.
Yeah, I mean, I think an important part too is that like the time blindness stuff doesn't work. So usually it becomes a task. Like when I'm done with this task, or after this, or like when this is over, then I'm going to go do the next thing. But then we poorly estimate how long this task is going to take, or how long this thing's actually going to take. So that ends up just adding to the time blindness even further.
Yeah.
And it's a losing battle.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and like for me, it works in the like when I'm I focus on my time and the based on the task. Like I don't have it. This is not gonna take as long as whatever it takes. That works for me. But I also learned that that is not healthy. So I ask my friends to do a check-in with me. Like every 1 or 2 hours. That adds an emotional component. That adds
That's smart.
Accountability kind of.
Yeah,
An accountability buddy. An accountability buddy. What is
accountability
it?
buddy?
Is that what you call it? I don't know.
Yeah, or like the body doubling thing. I think too is also like
I fuck heavy with body doubling. I love that shit.
It helps a lot to just be like someone else just there to do something you don't want to do, something you've been procrastinating. Like just someone being like, I'm going to come over and hang out with you while you do the thing.
Do your taxes.
Yeah,
We're both going to do our taxes. It's going to suck, but we're both going to get it done.
Yeah.
and I think be there and also using your friend as a spite. Like in spite of this, and I like that's something that also gives me such a the unique challenge because like you told me that I'm not going to be able to do this in 1 hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck you! I'm going to do that in 1 hour.
We do it in a half
You
an
need like
hour.
a little reverse psychology. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that to yourself because you know what you're doing.
You know what's funny? I think that does work though because I feel like another thing with a lot of like for me and my neurodivergence, I feel like I'm very like I don't like to be wrong and I don't like to be told what to do. So like I feel like reverse psychology does kind of work because you're like, oh, you don't want me to do that? Well, now I'm going to do it really good. Or like, you don't think I can do that? No.
Watch me, bitch.
Yeah, like it's almost like the only way to motivate myself is to like trick myself into like feeling emotional about it in some type of way. Or
You have to like talk down to yourself to trigger an emotional
It's really
response.
annoying. It's so
That's gnarly.
obnoxious.
We have to, yeah. Brains are weird. Brains are weird.
No, I just have to feel. I have to feel like challenge. Like if someone, I feel like someone's challenging me, kind of like what you were saying. Like, oh yeah, okay. Like a stubborn part of me. Like that's
Yeah.
like a motivator. Is like if I feel like I'm being told what to do. Or
There's
yeah.
a word for that. It's like an authoritative
Opposition defiance.
Yeah,
Opposition
no,
defiance.
it's demand avoidance.
demand avoidance. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what, yeah, no, it's like it's
opposition
bad
defiance is
for me.
in
Like
that category.
it's really bad for me. Like I'm like to the point where I'm like, oh, you want me to do that? Well, I'm not gonna. Like even though it's good for me, I'll be like, well, you shouldn't have told me to do it.
Yeah.
I bet you do want me to eat.
Yeah.
Drink some water, please.
Yeah.
You would like that.
It's poison, isn't it? You're trying to kill me.
Well, I'm like dehydrated like SpongeBob. I'm just like, I don't need water. You're lying to me.
All right. All right. Speaking of time management,
Is it
it is. It is.
We did
You
it.
got it.
I was here on time and they
Managed
weren't today. I just want to say that.
it. Very true. Very
I
true.
wasn't.
Zoe was here on time. We rolled up late and
They tried to trick me and they tricked themselves and I won.
Maybe they did that on purpose.
They were
You
like-
know, you're gonna be
Oh,
late.
they did.
So
They
that-
did do it on purpose. And it backfired
and
on
it
them 'cause they
backfires.
were
And then
late.
we were late.
I was still
yeah,
late.
Yeah. We don't know any time management tricks.
And
I
now I
hope you
don't-
didn't watch this whole thing thinking that we had it because we don't. But
My trick, but you know what mine was? Trying to be right. And I wanted to be here first. See, it works, you guys.
That's the dopamine on its own. You know, like I'm
Absolutely.
always
Being
right.
a jerk, it helps. The motivation to be better.
The cure to ADHD is being a punk.
Being a brat.
Being a brat. You got to out-brat the ADHD.
all right. Well, I've been Zane, your old pal, your old brat Zane.
Old brat
This
Zane.
has been Taylor Barrett.
The brat.
I've been Zoe.
And you are a brat.
Oh my god.
And Eren Senel.
Yeah, I've been
I'm-
Eren.
I'm going to do it.
Oh my God.
I'll say my name.
You want to take us out?
Yeah. Bye.
I'm surprised you didn't say no.
No, I don't want to.
Well, then
Hello.
bye.
Bye.
Hello. Hello.